So the holidays are here once again. It's time for good hope and cheer. And a time when your nosy ass aunt keeps asking you why you're single over Christmas dinner while your father tries to explain to your grandfather why certain words aren't okay anymore. And with all the hustle and bustle of Christmas comes the act of probably the most important thing of all to most of us, gift giving. And the ways that marketers and retailers are having us buy all the things they want us to buy over and over again, year after year after year. The origin behind gift giving is often thought to have begun in the Christian tradition to symbolize the gifts given by the three wise men to the baby Jesus in the Nativity story. And of course, this was on December 25th, even though overwhelming evidence suggests that Jesus wasn't actually born on December 25th at all. Well, let's not get into that right now. Anyway, gift giving in modern Western culture during the holiday season has grown over the years into what is often criticized for being an overly commercialized holiday. Today, buying things people want but don't need is a staple around the holiday season. Retail shops and online stores prepare themselves to offer consumers the best deals ever. But are you really getting the best bargain for your buck, or is this just a game? A game kind of like Hungry Hungry Hippos. Yeah, Mom, I want Hungry Hungry Hippos. Yeah. No, that's the old one I have. It's not the new one. Nice try. Yeah, I know I used to eat the marbles, Mom. Thanks for bringing up the past. But hey, I didn't like sharing back then. And, you can understand that. And I don't eat marbles anymore, Mom, so what's your argument now? Hold on. All right, yeah, maybe don't get me the Hungry Hippos game. I still got the marble thing going. First, let's begin with cosmetics. Think about the stores you may go into during the holidays. They may be festively decorated with Christmas songs playing in the air and warm smells wafting through the store. This isn't just for the 'tis the season mentality, but for shopping psychology. Although the origin of the Christmas colors red and green are believed to come from holly wreaths, psychologists have found that the color red can provoke a sense of urgency, encouraging people to take action on sales that may be over soon, which would explain why red is so prominent around the season. While we could just chalk these up to simply being a happy coincidence for marketers during the holiday season, studies have found that using not only color but smells and sound largely provoke customers to spend more while taking their time to enjoy the atmosphere that the store provides. Also, it was shown in two different studies that eBay auctions that contained a lot of the color red had increased amounts of bids compared to those that didn't. The other study showed that waitresses who wear the color red are actually tipped much better than waitresses who don't. And the study also discovered that men are actually the ones who are swayed by this color change. Women don't really seem to care either way. Tricks like this, however, are not new, and honestly, they barely scratch the surface. And with more and more shoppers going online, it may be that traditional stores need your business more than ever. Black Friday has, in recent years, become the pinnacle of holiday shopping, with stores boasting the large amounts that you can save for one crazy day only. What shoppers may not realize, though, is that while they think they're saving money, they actually might be spending more. The trick is where they show you the larger original price and then the new price that has been reduced substantially. While this seems really tempting as a customer who thinks they're getting a great deal, what you're actually seeing is the minimum price that can turn a profit for the retailer. While you think you're getting away with a steep discount, you're really just being tricked into believing you are, because it's sitting next to a higher possible amount that the business would not set for a long amount of time. This trick is known as anchoring, and it has been shown to have a psychological effect on buyers. In a study done by the American Marketing Association, researchers found that when customers were shown an item at a lower price next to an original higher price, the value of that item was increased for the buyer, leading to higher sales. The study also showed that price anchoring could lead to faster, more rash decision making rather than more deliberate decision making due to cognitive shortcuts caused in the thinking process. Anchoring has also gotten companies into a bit of trouble, with JCPenney being sued for giving merchandise fake original prices in order to make discounts seem way more impressive than they actually were. Other stores have been sued in the past for similar act now sales tactics, with men's apparel retailer Joseph A. Bank being brought to court for their high-pressure sales tactic of buy one, get seven free. In the lawsuit, the clothing chain was accused of using misleading, inaccurate, and deceptive marketing in order to create a false sense of urgency among shoppers and showing original prices that virtually never changed, despite what marketing would lead customers to believe. And during the holidays, it makes sense that these
You're not gonna bother?
Nope. And during the holidays, it makes sense that retailers would use these tactics to increase customer urgency. When you're looking for the perfect gift or the latest gadget, and let's admit, most of us are doing that last minute, shoppers often think that popular items are in danger of going out of stock quickly, and you know what? They're right. See, retailers know this and often take advantage of it. Toy and electronic companies have been shown to intentionally understock high-demand items in order to get more people to rush in to buy the items. For example, Lego predicted in October of this year that they would not be able to meet the demand for the popular building toy, with its popularity continuing to grow after the release of the extremely popular Lego movie. Whether the shortage was real or just really good press, Lego came out as one of the highest sought-after toys on Black Friday, along with everything Star Wars related, which Lego also has been known to profit from. Which brings us to one of the holiday's biggest cash grabs of the year, Star Wars. It's gotten to the point where Star Wars merch is almost impossible to avoid. There are toys, to makeup products, to macaroni and cheese, all for a movie that we barely know the premise of, and with Black Friday taking a bullet to online retailers, stores such as Walmart have learned one of the greatest tools to drive sales: nostalgia. Right now, nostalgia is huge in our culture, and this is what Star Wars and Christmas have in common. For example, let's jump back to earlier when we talked about the power of scent, sight, and sound in a store. Research had shown that customers were more likely to shop at ease if they were surrounded by old familiar signs of the season, such as the smell of cinnamon or the sounds of their favorite Christmas music. These can provoke powerful sensory details that can harken back to a simpler time in one's life, much in the same way that the Star Wars franchise can for some people. One study found that advertising that provokes emotions of past experiences of peaceful, pleasant times helped make the product feel more personal to the consumer, and with the same study showing that men are more likely to be swayed by nostalgia's pull, it is no surprise that one of the highest advertised movies of the year draws a large male audience. That's not to say women don't like it too. Chill your nuts. Your chestnuts. You don't have chestnuts. Well, actually, I'm not getting into it, just chill out. Even though Disney is no stranger to advertising, the reason we might be seeing just as many lightsabers as Christmas trees this year is because of nostalgia's effect on sales. Despite all this, the lies presented to the consumer pale in comparison to the situations that the people who make the products have to endure. With large pushes from Disney and other brands to promote merchandise and other items, companies have done just about everything they can to cut corners on production. According to a recent China Labor Watch investigation, major toy manufacturers such as Hasbro and Disney were discovered to be using Chinese factories who have come under fire for sweatshop abuses. 5 factories were looked into during an undercover investigation, and investigators found a large number of violations at all facilities, including making their employees work 11-hour workdays for 6 days a week in hot factories. Workers would receive few breaks, and despite working upwards of 66 hours a week, would only earn as little as $1 to $2 per day. Although factory employees working for these companies have suffered, Disney raked in a profit of over $7.5 billion in 2014. To break the amount down for you, a Chinese Disney worker would have to work more than 7,000 years to earn what Disney's CEO does in 1 year, whose recent compensation has shot up 35%, by the way, in the last fiscal year to $46.5 million, coming in as the 3rd highest paid CEO in America. Despite outcries from humanitarian groups in the past years, conditions show no signs of improvement. In another China Labor Watch investigation, details emerged of a Mattel supplier factory uprising, in which workers protested a months-long lag in wages and benefit payments during a lull in production. In an attempt to get workers to accept partial compensation, riot police and canine units were called in to suppress the workers. In another recent uprising that was shut down by police force, the toy industry's corporate monitoring organization said that the events were simply the results of poor communications and misunderstandings between the employees and the management. And sweatshop conditions aren't just limited to the toys under your tree. They might actually be hanging on your tree too. Children working in Indian sweatshops that make U.S. Christmas ornaments often work upwards of 18 hours a day, often in unsanitary conditions with little exposure to sunlight. A recent rescue raid freed 14 children in 2012 from one such camp, where children had been beaten by crew members, locked in a 6 by 6 foot cell, and were even trafficked. Although these are considered the most extreme instances of child labor, it is estimated that nearly 61 million elementary school-aged children work in these conditions rather than attend school in order to make cheap products for people in the West. So are these companies just a bunch of soulless monsters who don't care about anything? Well, they could be, but it's just way cheaper to have people overseas make these products. I mean, it costs way more to do it here. It comes down to economics. The public wants to buy goods at the lowest price possible. US factory worker costs are at least 25% greater than the average Chinese factory worker's salary. By paying workers who are working for less, companies can make more profit by saving on worker costs while also charging less for their products. So if you don't like cheap labor but refuse to buy more expensive products, then you're kind of contradicting yourself. Economics aside, you might think the solution to the ethical problem of overseas manufacturing is simply to buy American-made products. Sometimes that's easier said than done, however. For a company to boast that it is made in America, parts and assembly must be made within the United States. However, the catch is that these claims run almost completely on the honor system and don't require approval to carry the label. This year, Walmart was one company who was caught in a lie and had to remove their Made in America labels after mislabeling over 100 products in their store when a watchdog group called Truth in Advertising discovered the error. Many products also claim that they were assembled in the US to avoid legal trouble, but this could mean that only 10% of the product's value came from an American workforce. That's like making a shirt over in China and just sticking the buttons on over here. Woo, assembled in America. So yeah, the holidays are completely materialistic, commercialized, and companies have done awful things to capitalize on it. But instead of getting mad at these huge companies and demanding they do something to change, maybe we can change. Millions of families go hungry over the holidays, and many people are in need. While gift giving to a family member is perfectly okay, go ahead, do it, have fun. You can also try to use some of your money for the good of others who you don't personally know, rather than just the good old American economy. Hell yeah, because that's how we all talk over here, ain't it? That's what you like, isn't it? As an audience, that's what you love it. Organizations such as Toys for Tots and UNICEF help many people in need every year through donations and volunteers. Go online and find a cause you care deeply about, make sure it's legit, and use some of your Christmas budget to make someone's life this new year better than it was before. I've put links in the description below to make it easier for you to make a difference this season. And no, this video isn't sponsored. How cynical are you? Probably about as cynical as I am, so you're clever, but no, it's not. And that's it for this episode. I hope you have a safe and happy holiday season. And if you'd like to learn more things you weren't prepared to admit, please be sure to subscribe to my channel now. And I wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from all of us on my team to you.
Merry Christmas! It's a jingle, jingle all the way, jingle, jingle all the way. It's Merry Christmas. Ow!
Shut up.
You know, those are my glasses that you just
Shut up, Bob.
No! Way to get the spirit.
Christmas.
That hurt. Everyone here.